Man, let me talk to you a second.
Go ahead.
Hang on. Hold on. Stop walking. Let me talk to you a second, man. Okay. What's going on tonight?
I don't know. I ain't got nothing to do with y'all stuff.
Hang on.
Hey, work time, put your hands behind your back. Calm down. At this point, you are not in any trouble. You understand? But we're being told by multiple people that you were involved in all this. Okay. That these dudes were shooting at you. All right. Is that the truth?
I ain't got nothing to say to y'all.
You ain't got nothing to say to me?
Okay. I'm a college graduate. I'm a homeowner. That's my home right there. That's my rental property right on the corner.
Okay. Well, all you had to do was talk to us a little bit.
I have to talk to y'all.
So you say you don't know nothing about nothing. You ain't got nothing.
No questions, bro. I'm not answering any questions.
Hey, if you keep yelling like that, you're going to try to find a way to take you to jail. We're not wanting that.
Hey, you're going to take me to jail then.
Hey, relax. Come talk to me.
Thank you. Let me go.
He just said he was part of it.
Because you're stopping.
That's what he's saying.
I don't want to be bothered. I don't with y'all. I'm up the car.
208 Central. My first 209 Central. I'm in route to 206. Possibly show me not having a camera.
Go ahead.
209 and 1930.
It's open. Has he identified himself yet?
No, he allowed me to get billfold out.
Okay. Well, as of right now, he's under arrest for obstruction.
Despite the fact that the officers wanted to talk to Mr. James as a potential witness and victim, they placed him in handcuffs, took his wallet and searched through it, and placed him under arrest for obstruction when he refused to answer any questions. And although the officers were authorized to ask questions and request his cooperation, a court would likely conclude that he could not be arrested for refusing to assist the officers in their investigation.
Hey, Randy, I'll do the report on this. This is Ashley. We just need to get her information. She's the one that said he was the victim being shot at. He's the one that, I just need your name and stuff.
Oh, I seen him run to the house.
Yeah. Well, that gives us the reason to have a conversation with him. So I just need your name just so he's not going to know that. I just need your name.
I'm not worried about what he knows. My kids is they shooting at my house. 220 at the corner.
So what did you see?
Well, I was sitting in my window right here in the living room window, and I was on the phone with her. I had my blinds up. All I seen was a blue Grand Marquis speeding outwards.
Coming out of the
out of the apartment. And then I seen him run that way, but the shots was already going on. I just made sure my kids was down and they was in the back room.
You heard shooting?
Yeah, he was running this way.
And he run
across these people's yard.
Did the car look like it was after him? Or but which way they turn?
They turned this way.
They come up right behind him.
Yeah.
And then
he ran across his yard and over there in the place.
Witness Ashley Clark claims she saw Mr. James running away from the scene of the incident, and that it looked like the vehicle was chasing him, making Mr. James a potential victim, but not a potential suspect. Although the officers admitted when they stopped Mr. James that they did not suspect him of any wrongdoing, it is still possible that an Arkansas court would conclude that he could be briefly detained based on the so-called community caretaking concern of identifying and apprehending the criminal suspects. But even if a court determined that Mr. James could be legally detained, it would not create a legal obligation for Mr. James to identify himself or otherwise cooperate with the investigation.
Did he give you his wallet, or did we take his wallet after we detained him?
After we detained him.
We took his wallet.
But he turned and said, "There it is." But he got.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he doesn't want to identify himself. He's trying to walk away when we have a legal reason to stop.
That's when you grabbed him, man. I thought he's fixing to run. Yeah, he's had a lot of. I mean, he's hard to deal with at all times. She said he was already up on his porch, and all the cops are in there doing their thing, and he jumped off his porch and left and went another way. Then he comes right back up through.
Yeah, to see what's going on. Since they're busy, I'm gonna get you to transport him, do the arrest paperwork. I'll do the narrative stuff on it.
Hey, you're talking to the lady in the red shirt?
From her.
Yeah, I just got hers. We got the witness that said he info so we can justify why we made contact.
The officers claim that the information they received from Ms. Clark can be used to justify Mr. James's original investigative detention. Although reasonable suspicion depends on the objective facts of a situation, courts have consistently concluded that only the facts an officer knew at the time of the detention are relevant to this determination. Therefore, a court would almost certainly conclude that the details Ms. Clark provided to the officers were not relevant to whether the officers violated the Fourth Amendment, because they did not become aware of the information until after they had detained and arrested Mr. James.
You're getting yourself involved, all that.
Well, this lady here usually gives good info.
He's in the back of the car yelling. Let's get him transported out of here, and let's get him banned and get him out of here so we can finish just come back here.
Just ban him. Give me a second. I was moving stuff around. I just threw gear in my back seat. Let me move it, make room for him.
Yeah, let me pull up to the car. We're not walking.
Mr. James was transported to the police station, where he was processed and booked for obstruction. According to Mr. James, the judge that presided over the charge didn't try the case in court, but, quote, placed it under advisement for a year. Mr. James is pursuing a civil lawsuit against the Texarkana Police Department and is being represented by the Hearst Law Group of Hot Springs, Arkansas. Overall, the Texarkana officers get an F for treating Mr. James like a criminal suspect when he was actually a potential victim, illegally arresting him for obstruction, for exercising his right to refuse to answer questions, and attempting to justify their unconstitutional actions with information obtained after the fact. The officers also falsely claimed that Mr. James refused to identify himself, even though he was not required to do so, in an attempt to justify his arrest further. Although it is unclear how much the officers knew at the time they detained Mr. James, they made it clear that they never thought he was anything but a potential victim. Instead of treating him with a semblance of respect, they immediately handcuffed and arrested him and repeatedly demonstrated a fundamental misunderstanding of the extent of their authority, Mr. James's constitutional rights, and the crime of obstruction. Mr. James gets an A for maintaining a relatively calm demeanor throughout the interaction, steadfastly refusing to answer questions when he was not required to do so, and pursuing appropriate legal action after being subjected to an illegal arrest. Although Mr. James did use some inflammatory language with the officers, he was well within his First Amendment rights to do so, and the fact that the officers responded to his protests by arresting him does nothing more than further demonstrate these officers' lack of respect for the constitutional rights of the citizens they are meant to protect. I commend Mr. James for knowing his rights and standing up for them, even when the officers treated him like a criminal for simply refusing to mindlessly comply with their improper demands. And I wish him the best as he pursues a civil lawsuit against the Texarkana officers for their unacceptable actions.